Hello and welcome back to Game Domain. The world of Hyrule and the infamous Legend of Zelda saga is one that has been filled with greatness ever since its initial inception. But out of all of these titles, the most recent installment was the best-selling in the series, and instantly became a fan favorite. Breath of the Wild's impact extends beyond just the Legend of Zelda fanbase, but to the entire Nintendo gaming community as a whole. There are plenty of die-hard Nintendo fans who have never got into the Zelda series, but they bought Breath of the Wild due to the Switch's light library of games when it first came out. This brought millions of brand new Zelda fans into the fold, many of which are certainly here to stay after their experience in Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild's instant success and popularity could really only be compared to one other title in the series, Ocarina of Time. Both Breath of the Wild and Ocarina of Time were groundbreakingly beautiful open-world experiences at the time of their release, and both games still hold up today as fan favorites in the Nintendo community. Due to the massive success of Ocarina of Time, Nintendo quickly went to work on developing Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask played on the same exact engine as Ocarina of Time, but gave players a brand new story with an all-new location. Nintendo used the success of Ocarina of Time to release a title that mirrored that game, but brought something brand new to the table. Now, this pattern most likely inspired Nintendo to do the same with Breath of the Wild, as we are getting a direct sequel to Breath of the Wild sometime soon. With this title presumably around the corner, we here at Game Domain have some specific hopes that we would like to see. At the moment, we really know nothing about the game, but we can always speculate and hope that some of our ideas come to life. So, let's get to the countdown. Number 5. We stay in Hyrule. Now this hope is going to be pretty unpopular, which is why we have it at the tail end of the countdown. We absolutely love the landscape and openness of Hyrule depicted in Breath of the Wild, and we want the sequel to stay in this land and maintain all of this beauty. We do of course want some new explorable areas, as maybe they could even add a few more Sheik towers that open the door to new unexplored areas beyond the traditional borders of Hyrule we got in Breath of the Wild. Now, this hope doesn't really seem all that promising because in the only glimpse of the game we received in that initial announcement trailer, Hyrule Castle was seen exploding into the sky. What does that mean? We don't really know. The rest of the footage shows Zelda and Link exploring what looks to be the deep depths of Hyrule Castle upon the events of Link defeating Ganon. But that can't really be said for sure. Number 4. A traditional form of Ganon. Ganon is one of the most intriguing villains in all of Nintendo. He has taken countless different forms throughout the Legend of Zelda series, and the most recent of which, of course, being Calamity Ganon. Calamity Ganon wasn't really a person, or a soul, or a figure. It was really just a massive video game version of Satan, to be honest. Calamity Ganon was a massive black force, tainting the entire land of Hyrule with his villainous minions and spawns of malice. Controlling his pawns from Hyrule Castle, Ganon really had no ulterior motive because there was no person. Most villains, even Ganon in the past games, have human qualities, and you can relate to them in a way, feel their emotions, and sometimes even side with them and feel their pain. But the Calamity didn't present that. It was an amazing villain, and probably the most menacing form of Ganon yet, but a traditional Gerudo form of Ganon, as the villain in this sequel, would perhaps be more enticing. Once defeated in Breath of the Wild, maybe the Calamity just returned to his natural Gerudo state and became the same figure that we have seen in the past. And for you younger fans out there who are new to Zelda, let's just say we want Ganon to be like the form he is in Smash. You'll understand that reference better. Number 3. Sheik. This next one is kind of outlandish and doesn't really have a place or meaning in all of this, but we're sticking to our gut and going with it anyway. Princess Zelda's alter ego Sheik was a fan-favorite character back in Ocarina of Time. Zelda disguises herself as a surviving member of the ancient Sheik tribe. Throughout Link's quest in Ocarina of Time, Zelda appears as Sheik in order to guide Link in his journey to defeat Ganon. So much of Breath of the Wild centered around the idea of this ancient Sheik tribe, as we got more mention of them in Breath of the Wild than in every game combined. Okay, maybe that's a slight exaggeration, but it's got some leverage. Think of how much Sheikah there is in this game. The ancient Sheikah technology encompasses all 120 of the ancient shrines, plus the DLC ones, all of the ancient guardians and their weapons, the ancient tech labs in Akala and Hateno Village, the Sheikah Towers and the Shrine of Resurrection, and most importantly, the Sheikah Slate. But with all of this, Princess Zelda's alter ego Sheik was nowhere to be found. Yes, we know she didn't really have a place in the story because Zelda talked you from being trapped inside the castle, but now that you are with Zelda in this next game, how awesome would it be if she stealthed up at times and resorted to the iconic Sheik look? Oh, by the way, the writer has been a Sheik main since Melee, so yeah. Number 2, Return of Temples. Shrines were amazing, actually. So amazing, in fact, that the writer went through and completed all 120 shrines and the DLC ones. But there is just something about temples that makes us miss them. All of the shrines in Hyrule were presumably unlocked and defeated by Link, and there has to be some checkpoints for him to go and explore in this sequel. Why not bring back temples in some form? Temples drove us crazy back in the day. I'm talking to you, Water Temple. But we still love the idea and want it back in the series. There really isn't much else to say about this hope other than that we want to see it so bad, and we hope to see it in the real game. Now, let's look at our number 1 hope for Breath of the Wild. Number 1, playable Zelda. Okay, let's be real. Did you really expect anything else to be number 1? The first thing we thought of in that trailer was the fact that Link and Zelda were together exploring the depths of Hyrule Castle. Yes, that's right, together. Now, to some, this meant a possible co-op mode, but that's not how Zelda's meant to be played. To us, we immediately wanted to be able to play as Zelda. Link will always be the greatest character in the series, but it's time Princess Zelda got her turn in the spotlight. The series is named for her, and non-fans of the series literally think that Link is Zelda because he is the main character. We need to finally be able to play as Zelda. Maybe different parts of the game feature a different playable character between Zelda and Link. That would be different from traditional open-world Zelda formula, but they could probably figure it out without changing too much, because, I mean, that is their job. Just like the last entry, there isn't much else we can say other than just give Zelda the representation she deserves. And finally, let us play the fan-favorite princess of Hyrule. Breath of the Wild 2 is certainly going to be a great game. And if you enjoyed this video, check out our Domain Legion podcast for more hopes for Breath of the Wild 2. The link will be down in the description. Tell us what you thought of today's video down in the comment section below. Don't forget to click subscribe and leave a like on today's video, as well as check out some of our recent uploads. Make sure you also check out the links in the description, as there you will find the link to our Patreon and to join our Discord. Join our Discord to connect with our staff here at the channel, as well as participate in the great Domain Legion content we have going on there. Our Discord is open to all gaming fans, as we now have 400 plus fans of the channel and gamers talking about what we love to do every single day. So come on and join to participate in this great community. We would once again like to thank you guys for all of your incredible support, and thanks for watching today's video. We'll see you next time.